So this week we're talking ego and ego traps. And are you stuck in an ego trap? Now what an ego trap is when you feel like you're more spiritual or enlightened, or you're very self-righteous about how you live your life and you feel everyone should follow suit because you do everything amazing and you just needs to follow you because you know it all. If you feel like you're one of those people, you're stuck in an ego trap. And here are 5 different things that you can look out for to notice and kind of be aware of your feelings if you're in the feeling of superiority or if you're self-righteous, to say, hey, you know what, let me take a step back and let me not be stuck in this ego trap. Because the whole point of being enlightened and spiritual and, you know, really listening to your intuition and higher self is the fact that you're not listening to your ego, you're not judging other people, and you're not thinking that you're better than. Without further ado, let's move on to the 5 different things you can look out for to see if you're stuck in an ego trap and what you can do to change that. Say you decide you're going to take your bike to work, or you're going to take public transportation to work, or a yoga class or something like that. And you're not going to drive your car because you want to leave a better imprint on the world by not using gas. And then you start judging other people because they're still taking their car to work, and you're like, well, I take my bike to work, I scooter to work. You're judging that person. That's an ego trap. Number 2, if you don't watch TV anymore or don't watch the news and you feel like you're so spiritual because you decided to leave the media out of your mind because you feel like it's a mind control thing, and you judge other people because they still binge watch shows on Netflix, you're judging other people. You have to remember, people are where they're supposed to be in the exact moment in their life. It's called divine timing. And anybody who's enlightened or spiritual knows this and doesn't hold judgment on anyone else. Another thing that ties into that is if you stopped reading like gossip magazines or articles or anything going on in the world and you just like removed yourself from that, that ties into like the watching TV thing and the media and the news and things like that. If you find yourself judging other people because they still read like gossip columns or gossip magazines, then you're stuck in an ego trap. And the last thing that you can look at is if you become a vegan, you shop organic, like if you do Reiki or you meditate, you started doing yoga and you're into crystals and you just feel so spiritual because you started doing these things, and you start to say to yourself, everybody around me needs to start doing these things, and you start judging other people because they're not vegan, they're not eating organic, they're not into crystals, they're not spiritual according to you. You're so stuck in an ego trap, and you need to like get out of that. Because when you have that feeling of superiority again, like you're better than and you're doing things the right way and everybody needs to jump on board, like, oh, I don't watch TV, I don't read those magazines, I only eat organic, non-GMO foods, I'm vegan. Enlightened people don't need to broadcast, or spiritual people don't need to broadcast that they've been enlightened. Enlightened people, spiritual people, don't judge other people. They don't say, you should be a vegan, you're a murderer, you're this, you're that. There's ways, you know, things come into people's lives for a reason. Like growing up, I didn't know what a vegan was my whole entire life. So how can somebody be mad at me for not even knowing what being vegan was? That's why, like, I don't push veganism on someone who's a hardcore meat eater, because that's not my place to. Who am I to judge them? And when you become, and the other thing is, you don't know everything. When you become a more spiritual person, a more enlightened person, you know that you don't know everything. So if you're sitting there like on a high horse, like, oh, I do this, I do that, I know it all, you have a lot of work to do. It's like you're in kindergarten in the spiritual world, and you have to like work your way up the ladder, because it doesn't work like that. A spiritual and an enlightened person knows that every day they're going to be learning something new. Every day is a learning experience. Every person you meet, every circumstance you encounter is another experience to teach you something, not the other way around. Yes, with your presence and how you are and how you conduct yourself, you'll be able to help other people with just by being you, not projecting yourself onto other people because you feel everybody should be living the same exact way you're living. I do not believe in that. I don't back that up. I'm the complete opposite of that. You know, and I'm telling you, like, I'm only human. I judge the shit out of people sometimes. And then the thing is though, when you notice it, and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, look at me, I'm judging. When you're aware of it, because we are human and we have like over 60,000 thoughts that go on in our heads a day. And it's, you know, every single thing is like, oh, I'm judging, oh, I'm judging. You're gonna judge. It's just, it's in us. But to be aware and to say to yourself, okay, like reflecting back on the day and saying, oh, I was judging so hard today. You know, let me try not to do that. As long as you're aware of it and you're trying each day to look at people and not judge them for the choices that they make. And like, I get it, because I do it too. Like, I judge people, but when you are consciously aware that you're judging people and you're reflecting on it and saying to yourself, okay, what is this teaching me? What is this telling me about myself? I need to judge a little less, you know? Start being part of the solution and stop being part of the problem. That's what I feel. And so I just wanted to touch on that today, because I see a lot of that, you know, I'm so spiritual, I do yoga, I meditate, I've seen the light, I've, you know, gone out of myself. Everybody should be doing it. You're not there yet. You're asleep. Wake up. Like, let people get to where they need to be in their own time. And I see this a lot in my videos, because it's so true. It's like right on the, I'm hitting the nail on the head. And I know a lot of people can relate to this, because people don't like to feel judged. It makes them, you know, everybody deals with their own insecurities. Everybody already has their own things that they're dealing with, and to be judged on top of it is just not something that people want to have to deal with. And yes, we're going to do it. We're going to be judged. We're going to be the judger. But as long as we're aware of what we're doing and take action in the sense of noticing that this is going on with us, we'll be better people because of it. And we're all just different. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And when you keep it real, you just keep it real. You get more respect for it. All right, guys, that's it for this week's episode of Mom Talk. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at NeuroticMommy, and head to my blog, NeuroticMommy.com, where you'll be up to date on what I'm doing on the regular. Okay, guys, till next week. Peace out.